What is it?
Nothing.
Wow. What a festering pile this was. I was hoping that this was going to be a better watch party compared to Prey, which was my very first Mind's Eye theater. My God. I mean, I had heard that this was from the behind the scenes, that this was going to not just be a collection of stories, but it was all going to be connected. I figured it was like a tribe or one predator going up against these multiple warriors throughout history. Oh man, the way that they connected it at the end is nonsensical. So now you have predators using Weyland-Yutani cryostasis. Like, man, this was not good. The best of these episodes was the samurai one. A couple of things. First off, way too many one-sided fights. Way too many attempts to make the protagonist seem really edgy and cool, especially the Viking chick. Oh my God, what an annoying pain in the ass Mary Sue. You might as well have had cast Brie Larson in that role. Yeah, just way too many one-sided fights. Dude, if you're trying to demonstrate or portray a personality who is able to overcome odds, you have to give them odds. Like, you realize that, right? You can't just show them mowing down entire legions of warriors. And if you're going to do that, guess what? You should give that distinction to the Predator. Like, what are you doing? They did that twice. Once with the Viking chick and once with the not the samurai, the ninja. Bro, if you're trying so hard to portray them as badass warriors, okay, show them able to overturn a fight that's going badly for them. Show them how it is that they deal with adversity. No, you just have them completely just 1v10ing an entire legion or column of warriors like it's nothing. Like they're going up, like they're just chopping through paper. Ugh. The Viking chapter sucked. Nothing about it was good. The only good part about it is that it was brief, and it was over. Oh my God. Just a Mary Sue, just a complete girl boss of a character. It's like, dude, she's depicted as being old, and she can make weapons out of shields, and she can go up against Vikings and just body them like it's nothing. She can take an arrow to the shoulder and just brush it off. And I would be opposed to that if it was a male character. It just looks ridiculous when it's a female. And again, she's old. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, the only good part about it was that it was 20 minutes long. I wasn't keeping track of how many minutes the samurai chapter was, but man, the Viking chapter was so bad. I would have preferred to see more predator stalking the prey. You know what I mean? Like, not... It is good if you just jump into the action, but with an hour and a half, you could have had it where one of the scenes takes place with a predator actually choosing which is going to be its prize fight. You know what I mean? Out of a number of different warriors. Like, have warriors train, and the predator is stalking them, and see which of the samurai that the predator is going to go up against based on how they train. You know what I mean? It would go to show, for instance, you can have one samurai who's particularly cocky, and when they think they have the upper edge, they are too boastful. Do you know what I mean? And the predator could use that. You know, hey, just something for character development and plot, but yeah, they didn't do that. And I don't know, they could have done it where at least one of the stories would have paid homage to the original Predator. And what I mean by that is have the Predator go up against, I don't know, a small army, like Delta Force in the first Predator movie. Just a simple homage, not a ripoff, just a simple nod to that film, just so that you have, instead of predators killing multiple men at once, you can do that over a period of time where it's taking them out one by one, just like in the original Predator movie. It would obviously be in a different scenario with the Viking chapter, but I'm just spitballing here. Anyone notice that, generally speaking, there was no collecting of trophies? Like, you just had the predators just wanton killing people, almost to the point that they would have been destroying. Like, you got decapitations, but it just looked like they were uninterested in the trophies, and they were just more about obliterating their prey. Just there didn't seem to be that methodical nature to them, which I thought was weird. Like, it's a hunt, not a straight up slaughter. What else do we have? Oh, humans figuring out how Predator tech works way too quickly. The Viking chick with figuring out how the gravity gun works, which was I didn't like that gravity gun. Yeah, okay, you have a predator that lost a limb. You can replace that with something else, though. For such a big, brutish predator, that gravity gun struck me as kind of strange. And then you have this samurai figure out a way to use the grenades against the predator so that when its hook retracts, it will not only return the grenade back to it, but it'll actually get lodged in its own wrist gauntlet. Oh, come on. The kid in the jet in the plane finding out how the heat-seeking hooks works. Dude, how... And this this was a major problem because not only did you have predators losing each of these episodes against the humans, but my God, like, what are we doing here? This should have been the template where you show predators winning. Like, come on, man. You're telling me that all of these people, any of these people that survived to the end, that each of them would have would have solely killed a predator. I get that it's called Killer of Killers, but and again, that's also kind of a ripoff of the premise of Predators. Wow, for a movie that supposedly failed, they keep going back to that and mining that movie for ideas. Just like how the Predator, or excuse me, the human soldiers and killers from the Predator movie, they go on to describe how, they are the predators, they are the hunters, they are the monsters of their own world. Gee, again, it is amusing to me how that movie was considered a failure, yet time and time again, even going as far back as the Predator movie from 2018, they keep mining ideas from it. Hey, I guess it wasn't that bad of a sequel then. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this really should have served, because you have less time with an anthology. You don't need to focus that much on... I mean, you should make character development in the human characters a priority, but you don't have to go so far and so long with it. And what I mean is that this opened up the opportunity to focus less on the human characters, or at the very least, have the predators in each time period on the hunt, have them win. Come on, man. One critique that I never really gave credence to was how the predators would always lose in each film that they would go up against humans. But this was the perfect opportunity to really show how badass these creatures are. And guess what? The Prey movie, a little girl going up against a 7.5 foot alien hunter. Like, God, can these creatures win once? They're supposed to be the monsters of the movie. The franchise is referred to as the Predator franchise, and this was a perfect opportunity to have the Predators win, and they completely blow that opportunity. Just idiotic, man. Oh man. the best of these was the samurai, but like still, considering that Predator had the most weaponry of any of the other hunters in the other two stories, like and no, it going up against a ninja and a samurai, sorry, that doesn't fit, that doesn't cut it for me. The fact that Predator was the most heavily armed and heavily armored and it still lost, oh my, like, are you kidding me? This is what I get for trying to be positive. This is what I get for trying to give Dan Trachtenberg a shot and a chance. Oh God. I can only hope, and I hate to be this negative, but I can only hope that people accurately review this movie. It's not good. It really isn't. The gladiator fight at the end, oh my God, cringe. And it doesn't make any sense that you would cryo freeze warriors from different time periods just to fight each other. What? You got that much patience? Really? Like, and again, the whole Chosen thing, the whole Chosen idea comes from Predators 2010. Dude, like, I reviewed that movie way back when for its 10-year anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for its 10-year anniversary. And look, does it have problems? Yes. Predators 2010, the third act kind of falls apart from the point that Lawrence Fishburne shows up. Well, when he shows up, that unfortunately is when his character peaks. But they had several fight scenes that were underwhelming and disappointing. The fight with the samurai sword wielded by the Yakuza against one of the Predators, it was disappointing. And then Predators had a scene where for the first time you had one Predator versus another. I like the Berserker Predators. I will always defend them. If you think that the design is overdeveloped, that's one thing, but it is still a good design. And the mere idea of hunters without their code of honor is a great idea. And no, Predators 2010 is not a ripoff of the original. Give me a break. And the gall of people to talk that crap when you've come out with the horror genre has seen requel after requel that does steal ideas from original films. That's a rant for another day. But the Chosen in this movie at the end, where all the survivors of all of these hunts, they are chosen and they are to fight one another in a gladiator arena. Now, the gladiator piece was not part of Predators 2010, but come on, man, these people were chosen and plucked from the planet Earth just to be dropped in a game preserve. Don't even attempt to act as though this movie didn't rip that off from Predators 2010. Man, this movie was such a disappointment. Honestly, the only apart from the samurai scene, which even then had its faults, the only good part about this movie was the animation. Like I said, I really liked the cloaking that they did with CGI for the Predators, as well as I really liked the heat vision for the visuals that they were able to do. They were able to translate with animation as well as the sounds. That was done really well, but everything else, oh my God. Yo, a kid, seriously think about this. A kid who was in a World War II era junkie plane managed to kill a predator who's in a ship that managed to traverse space. It has weapons, would be armored, and he managed some punk kid, man. And that was another thing. Each time, it's not just that the predators lose, but the humans manage to use predator weaponry against the actual hunters. Just, dude, what are you doing, man? You are like tied. Like they had 3 chances, and even in the 4th, the end gladiator fight, like all these people do is embarrass and just embarrass the main lead, which is the Predator. You have they look foolish when they are being killed by their prey, who are vastly inferior physically and especially mentally, and you allow these primitive humans each time to outwit the Predator and use their own technology against them. Oh my god, man. Now, this movie is an L just for that. Dan Trachtenberg is the worst thing that happened to these films, and he's messing up Predator lore as badly as Ridley Scott is messing up Alien lore. Oh man, how did we get to this point? Like, I was very much looking forward to this movie, this concept. I was willing to give it a chance, but my god, it's so bad. Ugh. Just I'm at a complete loss for words over how they managed to bungle this premise so emphatically. And again, you know, I was willing to give this a chance, but dude, Prey and now Predator, Killer of Killers, dude, they're just ripping off, and it's astonishing to me that nobody calls them out on this. They're just ripping off other people's ideas. I already mentioned how they have ripped off Predators from 2010 in multiple different ways, but come on, man. Predator Dark Ages was a fan film. Really, nobody's giving it credit? Nobody's giving it credit. Nobody's even acknowledging that movie, how it was a fan-made film, and a Predator in the past, they ripped it off in Prey, and now they ripped off a fan film for this, for Predator Killer of Killers. Like, I'm sorry, man. It's wild to me that a fan film and a sequel that was allegedly mediocre or a failure. Yo, how is nobody recognizing that the establishment now, when it comes to these Predator films, are woefully just plagiarizing other people's ideas? Like, come on, man, this is retarded. When Predator Badlands comes out, I absolutely plan on doing a watch party of Predator Dark Ages, the fan film, because my god, somebody needs to give that film recognition, if for no other reason than, again, how, you know, these modern films, these modern adaptations or iterations, they're given all this credit, right? And why? You're stealing other people's work, and what you present is just your stupid identity politics, and you're just showing how Predators are so vastly inferior that despite superior technology, weaponry, defenses, physiology, intellect, you're telling me that humans can still body them? Like, are you serious? This was a terrible movie. I absolutely would not recommend it. I'm glad that I got a free trial version of Hulu to pick this up to give it a watch. Oof, man, I cannot recommend this movie. It is the pits, and man, I'm sorry that I tried to give it credit. I know that Badlands is going to be terrible because it looks terrible, and leave it to Dan Trachtenberg to give me the 2 things that I've been asking for in a Predator movie. For it to be set in the future and set in space. And the trailer that released looks awful. But as far as this movie is concerned, I cannot recommend it. Stay away from this crap. Stay as far away from it as you can. If you're going to speak to other people about it, advise them of what it is that you and I just had to endure. Therefore, mark your calendars and say your prayers. I've been incarnate, offering a word of caution. Fear the worst, so long you recognize who's best.
If you're resigned to your fate, time to subscribe to your fears.